Gastonia, the armored fortress of the Early Cretaceous. When you think of dinosaurs, you may imagine gigantic beasts tearing each other apart in ferocious battles. But not all dinosaurs lived that way. Gastonia will change your perspective. It wasn't a towering giant like Brachiosaurus, nor was it a bloodthirsty predator like Utahraptor. Instead, Gastonia chose another path, the path of absolute defense. That choice made it one of the most impressive creatures ever to walk the earth. 1. Origins and name. Gastonia was first discovered in 1989 by paleontologist James Kirkland and formally described in 1998. It came from the Cedar Mountain Formation in Utah, USA, a fossil-rich site filled with many strange dinosaurs. Its name, Gastonia, doesn't come from gastric, but was given to honor Robert Gaston, a fossil preparator who greatly contributed to its excavation. Gastonia lived about 125 million years ago, in the Early Cretaceous period. This was a time when fearsome hunters like Utahraptor stalked the land, and long-necked sauropods such as Cedarosaurus roamed in herds. Gastonia appeared in one of the most competitive and dangerous chapters of natural history. Number 2. Size and appearance, a living fortress. Though not the biggest dinosaur, Gastonia was built like a tank. It reached about 5 to 6 meters, 16 to 20 feet long, weighing up to 1.5 tons. Its entire body was a masterpiece of defensive engineering. Heavy armor. Hundreds of bony plates called osteoderms covered its back and flanks, locking together like a shield wall. Lethal spikes. Along its sides grew large, outward-pointing spikes, angled to stab at any predator that tried to flank it. A deadly tail. Fossil evidence suggests Gastonia's tail bore enlarged spikes, or a primitive club. Swung with force, it could shatter bones. Low, squat body. Close to the ground, wide and sturdy, it was hard to topple or flip over. Looking at Gastonia, one sees a perfect blend of armor and deterrence. A rolling fortress designed by evolution. Number 3. Habitat. Ancient Utah 125 million years ago, Utah wasn't the desert we know today. Instead, it was a semi-arid plain dotted with rivers, streams, and patches of forest. Wet seasons brought lush greenery, while dry seasons cracked the earth and shrank water holes. Gastonia shared this land with Utahraptor, a deadly pack-hunting predator with enormous claws, Cedarosaurus and other sauropods, gentle giants reaching the treetops, small, fleet-footed ornithopods, escaping danger by speed. The vegetation consisted mostly of ferns, cycads, primitive palms, and conifers. These low-growing plants were ideal food for Gastonia, which spent much of its time grazing near the ground. Number 4. Lifestyle and behavior. Gastonia was not aggressive by nature. Most of its day was spent quietly browsing on tender plants. But in a world full of hunters, it was also a silent warrior prepared for battle at any moment. Defensive stance. When threatened, Gastonia crouched low, bristling its spikes, and readied its tail. This posture turned its body into a living trap for attackers. Herd living. Paleontologists suspect Gastonia lived in small groups. Together, they could form a spiked wall, much like giant porcupines, deterring predators. Moderate mobility. Despite its bulk, Gastonia wasn't helplessly slow. Strong limbs allowed it to shift position quickly, enough to swing its tail with deadly precision. Number 5. Predator showdowns. The clash for survival. Imagine the scene. The scorching sun beats down on the Cedar Mountain plain. A group of Gastonias grazes peacefully. Suddenly, shadows emerge from the tree line. Utahraptors, hunting as a pack. Their curved claws, longer than a man's hand, gleam menacingly. The Gastonias close ranks, forming a circle. Tails whip the ground with thunderous cracks, warning the intruders. Sunlight glints off their armor, transforming them into a wall of steel. One Utahraptor lunges, aiming for the flank, but a Gastonia swings its tail, smashing into the predator's leg. A sickening crack echoes. The raptor retreats limping. The others hesitate. Their prey is not worth the risk. The standoff ends without a full-scale fight. In this primeval chess game, the fortress wins by making attack too costly. Number 6. Evolutionary role. Gastonia holds a key place in the story of armored dinosaurs, or ankylosaurs. It was among the earliest forms, showing both primitive and advanced traits, a wide variety of armor shapes, evidence of evolutionary experiments. A tail weapon, not yet a solid club like later ankylosaurs, but still formidable. Its age and location help scientists understand how armored dinosaurs spread and diversified. In short, Gastonia was a crucial bridge in dinosaur evolution, showing how defense strategies were refined over millions of years. Extinction and mystery. Despite its defenses, Gastonia eventually vanished. Possible reasons include climate changes altering food supplies, competition with more advanced ankylosaurs, new predators that found ways around its armor. All that remains today are fossilized bones, silent witnesses to an age long gone. Number 8. A fascinating discovery. Many Gastonia skeletons have been found alongside Utahraptor fossils in the same deposits, the famous Dragon's Tomb site. This raises tantalizing possibilities. Perhaps they died locked in combat, or maybe a sudden flood buried predator and prey together. Whatever the cause, the image of armored herbivores and deadly raptors preserved side by side for 125 million years is a haunting reminder of life's struggles. Number 9. Lessons from the armored warrior. Gastonia wasn't the fastest, the largest, or the most aggressive, yet it thrived because it perfected the art of defense. Its story teaches us that survival isn't always about raw power. Sometimes endurance, resilience, and preparation are the greatest strengths. Though long extinct, Gastonia remains unforgettable. A low, spiny silhouette against the Cretaceous sun, a fortress that moved on 4 legs. Its legacy is the reminder that in nature's endless experiments, every strategy, even pure defense, has its moment of triumph.